This is a rather highly anticipated remake of the 2004 PlayStation 2 classic. It's basically the same game with modern graphics, an improved injury system, and some improved stealth mechanics, which sounds great in theory, but there are some serious problems, especially when looking at an €80 price tag. I'm going to completely skip the story aspect here because it is identical to the original. Let it be said though, for those unfamiliar with the game, that especially the game's beginning has a tremendous amount of cutscenes, which may be problematic for the 2-hour refund window on Steam. The gameplay is pure stealth survival. You are dropped into the Soviet wilderness with almost nothing and have to sneak past guards, hunt animals for food to keep your stamina up, and treat your injuries with a surprisingly detailed medical system. Getting shot in this game means you actually have to dig bullets out of Snake's body, disinfect wounds and bandage them up. The stealth mechanics are what made the original special. They were pretty damn good for the time. You can change camouflage to match your environment and use your surroundings to stay hidden. There's a percentage indicator showing how well you're concealed. If only the enemy's behavior wasn't as stupid as it is most of the time, in my experience. Yes, the guards do theoretically have relatively realistic vision cones and hearing, but most of the time it's the same brain-dead comments from your enemies when they clearly should have seen you, but they are all of a sudden talking about imagining things or seeing ghosts, and all this kind of stuff that we have seen hundreds of times. It's not all bad, like enemies seem to actually have the ability to spot tracks on the mud, but it's not as good as I expected.
I must be seeing things. Who's there?
The game's boss fights are memorable encounters against the Cobra unit, special soldiers with unique abilities. The game's graphics are obviously much better and character faces are much more detailed. They have kept all the extra content like Snake vs Monkey Returns, which was this weird crossover with Ape Escape, where you catch escaped monkeys. There's also a new multiplayer mode called Fox Hunt that's coming later and sounds like hide and seek with stealth mechanics. Now the thing that bothers me is that Konami essentially had the easiest remake job here, because their story, characters, voice acting, music and the level design is already there and proven to work. And yet Konami is charging 70 to 90 euros for this, which feels insulting when looking at high quality remakes like Demon's Souls or the Resident Evil remakes, where the difference really is night and day in pretty much all aspects. So to me the whole thing feels like Konami taking a beloved classic and doing the minimum work necessary to sell it again at full price. I'd rather buy 5 amazing indie games for the same price that essentially gives me much more enjoyment. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.